Hi everybody, how are you all doing? Welcome. Episode 1. Talking to women. Two, capitalism can it bring about a just and equitable society? So there we go. Let me post that and then pin it. Perfect. So we can start now. How on a day, everybody? Happy Sunday. Yeah, this is Seun Kuti, aka Big Bed, aka going on, okay, aka Chairman Seun of the movement of the people, at least, but pro tem until we have our convention, where you, the people, will now select or elect me, as your chairman. We're waiting for that. Good. Let me tell you. Are you getting the vaccine? Of course, me, I have to get the vaccine because, I have to travel the world to start working when they reopen the world. Honestly speaking, I would say if I wasn't a musician that had to travel the world, I'm not sure I would take the vaccine. I'm not sure, But even at that now, I'm not rushing to take it. I'm waiting for all of you to take it. Let me take when I do test first. I'll wait. It's more like I do with iPhones. I can never buy. If iPhone 10 come out, I don't buy it immediately. I wait for other first generation to run and they correct all the mistakes. The ones that they catch fire for people pocket, to go burn their skin, when they explode, all those things go pass. When they don't come do and wear for the second gen, I'll come buy that time. That's how I normally do with these kind of things, So, that being said, don't copy me. In one of my songs, I say, sometimes I know, sometimes I don't, sometimes I'm just trying. So I can't say it's all that I know. I better go. So yeah, pro tem chairman of the MOP. The MOP, people go to invest now because we get meeting and run from the meeting. Can't do this live. I don't know if our meeting is still on. Is the meeting still on? Yeah, we are wrapping it up. I know people want make we quickly launch the party, but we need to be able to launch the party as well. I can't do it on my own. I go launch our financial campaign next week. So now everybody will donate some bar. This is a people's party. Not be say only me no fit pay the money. Only me can pay. It joke. But it just be say this is a people powers party. People powered party must be powered by the people. As they say, he who pays the piper dictates the tune. He who pays the piper dictates the tune. So I want the people to pay me so you can dictate the tune that you want to be hearing from my pipe. Yeah. Also to all our fans of TPP, the People's Perspective, sorry say I know female cam, I still get issues with this my tooth. I know you cannot tell, but this tooth is a fake one. It's a fake tooth. Until I finish my operation, where they're going to put on that one, and it's taking some time. I was disturbed a bit. Anyway, thank you, graphic designer. Yeah, hit us up on so the website for the page for MOP is MOP Center on Instagram. You can send us DMs there if you want to assist, if you want to join and things like that. Yeah. So let me quickly jump on the topic today, real quick. Because African women all over the world, there's a fight right now for the attention and the love and the allegiance of the black woman. Where is the black woman going to stay? Is the black woman going to join the integrationist? Is the black woman going to be a Pan-Africanist? Is the black woman, going to completely capitulate to the Europeans? So many things, and the attack on the attack on black women's psyche, all over the world, is unrelenting. It's unrelenting. But one thing I will say, my message to all black women, all African women all over the world, is that, do you. First of all, both African men, both European men, both all men, the world does not, you don't owe the world any explanation as an African woman. As an African woman, let me first tell you, when the colonizers first got here to Africa, you are the most powerful person in our society as the African woman. As soon as the men that were brave enough to defend our culture, to fight for you, as soon as those men run away, when they defeat them in battle, send many of them on exile, those that were brave enough to defend us, as soon as they have been defeated militarily and economically, the Stooges were very happy to side with the Europeans to subjugate the African woman here in the continent. So I understand that. I understand the African women don't even understand what it means to be African women anymore. When we look at our society, what are we? I understand all of that. But also, I won't beg African women all over the world one thing. Without the support of African women, African culture will waste away. Without the support of African women, African identity will be erased. So I'm not saying this because of the petulant African men all over the world. I don't know what they are doing. I'm not saying this because I'm an African man myself and I'm trying to cop out. I'm saying this because of what we are. I'm saying this on behalf of what it means to be African. I'm saying this on behalf of the essence of Africa. I'm saying this on behalf of Africa itself. Please, number one, forgive. And number two, side with Africa. Because without you, I don't see how Africa can win this battle. I don't see how Africa can elevate itself. Many topics, I saw a topic recently with the trend about African women hair. The hair of the African woman has always been, as I said, this, I'm not talking, they don't come here. You can't be talking about women without a woman. I beg, I'm not talking about, I have a message for. I'm not talking about women. Please, you people carry your wallet away from here. I'm not talking about, I'm talking for, I'm just talking to. I have a message I'm passing to. Please don't tell me I'm talking about women. You will just take your wallet. Take your wallet and just go. Because in this world today now, everybody is mixing the personal with the political. That's what some of my friends who that are a band in Brazil, a female Afrobeat, all Afrobeat band. This I posted them one day on my page. As soon as I posted them on my page, men came with all sorts of lewd comments and said all sorts of stuff. And I felt kind of bad that these people made all these kind of comments, and it's impossible to fight jokes. I cannot fight jokes. The struggle is bigger than jokes. I cannot be fighting somebody's jokes. Joke is joke. Part of freedom of speech. Let people make the joke that they want to make. But the next time I was going to post about them, I said I'm going to get ahead of those jokes and just generally tell people to get their mind out of the gutter and focus on the tightness of the band. So, because I made a joke, I said, oh, this band is really tight. Not in the way you are thinking, get your mind out of the gutter. Here I was thinking I was doing something positive. Only for the band to come and attack me that, oh, it is this my joke, that they are fighting. It's this type of joke that they are get to fight against. I said, I'm dead. I said, I'm dead. You can't win. There's no winning in this. So, what is my message? My message is that all oppressed groups in the world have been conditioned by the oppressor, right? To find, even though they are oppressor, they're supposed to find salvation within oppression. Your salvation cannot be that you want to totally reject oppression and become free. All oppressors in this world, make sure that the oppressed people feel that without your oppressor, you cannot find salvation. It is only through your oppressor that you can find salvation. This is the number one game of the oppressor globally. That's why you find that even in Nigeria, many of us that are oppressed by this elite are trying to say that without the help and support of, they'll be telling me, Seun, why can't you go and align with this person? In fact, somebody has told me to go and join APC so that I can change things from within. I said, give me one example ever in the history of humanity, in the history of our life. Give me one example of somebody that has changed anything from within. One, just one example, and I'll join APC the next day. Not only in Nigeria, find an example for me in the totality of humanity, where somebody brought change from within. It's like cockroach where chicken don't swallow already. This cockroach is in the belly of the chicken. Not the chicken when they crush, you still there alive inside the belly before you decompose. If you hear cockroach inside the belly of the chicken, it is saying you want change the chicken from within. You as you are digesting, slowly digesting. So what is the message? The message we say, I found out that many women mistake when I talk about protecting our identity and our culture with trying to tell women what to do, trying to tell women how to live their. I don't care. I'm not a moralist, so anybody that listens to me talking about any issue should please remove morality out of it. I don't care how anybody does. In fact, African women were always naked in Africa, and African men understood not to touch their women. African women walked around bare-chested, skimpy dress, everything. It is when the rapists arrived, then they started blaming the women for being naked. That is because the women were naked. When the Europeans arrived to be teaching you rape, they want to now say that women is their fault. Why are they dressing naked? This is indecent to be naked. Indecent where? Indecent where? Indecent where? What was this indecency? It's Europeans that brought indecency of African women, how they dress, how they should behave. African women have always been free to express themselves how they like, sexually, economically. I repeat to you, it is the conquering of Africa that completed in 1861. It is the complete conquering of Africa and what is African that has reduced African women to what they are today in Africa, which is a replica of the European woman. People don't understand that. So when I talk about African women, please, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just appealing to you from what connects us. I'm appealing to you from a place of our essence. I am saying, without you, we cannot protect that which makes us unique. Finish. If I'm against skin bleaching, I'm against skin bleaching caught as a problem of identity. Then also it's a problem of there's a medical issue to it. You are destroying your skin medically. And I don't want to see my sister. So if I cannot say to women don't bleach, Vybz Kartel sing a song telling women to bleach, nobody attack him. Is it okay to tell women what to do when it is destructive, but it's not okay to tell women what to do when you're trying to save them? Because I see a lot of artists that tell women what to do all the time in the negative aspect. I see a lot of men that are allowed to tell women what they want, how to shake the onyash, what to wear, how to misbehave, how to get drunk, how to not respect yourself. So if that is accepted, why can't I also say, oh, do not bleach, do not, if it's that artist and it's accepted as an opinion, why can't I have an opinion also? Is it because the opinion does not go in line with the status quo of the destruction of black civilization, the destruction of black culture, or whatever, or anti-blackness in general? If you listen to Jay-Z's song, Girls, 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 I was a huge fan of Jay-Z. That was kind of my last big Jay-Z album in my head. A blueprint. Listen, we're talking about all the girls he likes. Check it out. Jay-Z talks about all kinds of women in this world. And the only two women that Jay-Z gives bad behavior to is the African American girl that talks too much, always snapping her fingers, doesn't respect. And then the African woman with Eddie Murphy on her score. The woman said, Jay-Z, why you treat me like animal? Jay-Z said, excuse me, Miss Fufu, when I met you, you were butt naked and broke. Now you want half. So African women are dead naked and broke. So this is the concept. If you can say anti-African shit, it is accepted, because that was Jay-Z talking to women and talk to black women in the most derogatory way. And he's married to the queen of all black women in the world today, Beyonce. So the only problem here I realize is that it's not to talk. They realize that, when you want to talk, don't talk about women. No, but they are allowed to talk about women. They are allowed to talk about women in any way they want, in any discrimination, in any depraved way. And they say women accept it. It's okay. As Christophe said, it's not talking about me. So please, African, when I talk to you, see, I'm not advising. This is not advice. I hate people giving me advice. You can't give me advice. You don't know me. To be able to advise me, you must have lived all my life with me. Because advice comes with something that is called context. If you don't understand the context of my existence, your advice is nothing to me. You can't just look at me from afar and advise me. I don't want your stupid advice. I don't want your stupid advice. So I'm not advising. Forget advice. I'm just saying, in what connects us, let's respect that which connects us. Let's respect that which makes us unique. This is not advice. This is us talking to each other, having conversation. If black men can no longer talk to black women, if black men, African men and African women can no longer have conversations, if African women cannot sit down and come to an agreement about black men, that black men understand and accept, and black men come into independent conclusions about black women, that African women accept, then our race is lost. We are lost. We are done. Because if we cannot respect as men, as African men, if we cannot respect the true opinions of African women, are we really men? How can you call yourself an African man? Because everybody say, how can you talk about men and men are not involved? How can you talk about women and women? That's European. In Africa, African women can talk about African men, come to a conclusion about us African men, and we African men have to respect that conclusion. We must respect that conclusion. Even if the conclusion is wrong, it is our duty to prove that it is wrong. It is our duty to show that it is mistaken. It is not our duty to blow it off, to act like we don't care, to say, meh. That is weakness. And it is vice versa. Brothers and sisters, it is vice versa. If this race cannot come to that singular acceptance, then what are we doing? We're doing nothing. People will be talking about how black men couldn't talk to. See, black women in Nigeria, my country, they go to church. All African women are in church and mosque. And tell me which institution is as oppressive to women as Christianity and Islam. There's no institution in this one. I say the Abrahamic God, Allah, whatever you want, that Abrahamic God, he even forgot to create women. Did you read the Bible, Ni? You didn't read the Torah. You didn't read Quran. In the first creation, in Genesis, for 6 days, God, this man, their God thinks about, he knows all. He created everything he thought was necessary in 6 days. Then he went to rest. To him, it was finished. He did not think of women. Women were afterthought to this religion. After he now saw that a man, Abraham, was lonely. Abraham was, he now created a woman from the rib. He didn't even create a woman the way he created Abraham. He created Abraham, the woman, from the rib of Adam. Sorry, not Abraham. From the rib of Adam. He created Eve from the rib of Adam. Abi? Afterthought. Women were not in the original creation in the 6 days. Yet, women, go to church, die in church, fight for Jesus, fight for Muhammad, everything. As in, that is true oppression. When you have oppressed a group to the extent that they see their salvation in you. And that is what goes on in the world. Go to fashion industry. No industry in this world is as oppressive to women as the fashion industry. The fashion industry is racist, is sexist, is patriarchal. Whatever is happening to women in the world today is emanating from the fashion industry. What industry do women support the most in this world? It's the fashion industry. Women, fashion industry, women donate more to the fashion industry than men all over the world. And have you seen what fashion industry does to women on their billboards, in their offices, on their shows, on their platforms? The unattainable levels of beauty that they create for women to live up to. How they allow women to hate their own bodies. Do you know what it means to be a poor woman in this world today if you cannot afford lipstick? You cannot afford eyeshadow, all these things the fashion industry imposes on women. That without this thing, you are not a complete woman. Women cannot go out without all these things anymore because of the propaganda of the fashion industry. Poor women are trapped. Where do you see them complaining? Everybody rush to embrace this ridiculous industry, confusing fashion and style. Fashion is nonsense. Everybody needs is style. What is fashion? What is fashion? Fuck fashion all day long. Fashion is nothing but a repressive industry. The fashion industry is nothing but a repressive industry there to subjugate poor women, to keep poor women hidden, to keep poor women feeling like they are inadequate, to keep our mothers feeling inadequate, so that they can control how women think. They can control, creating false wants. Creating false wants, things people don't need, acting like they need it to survive. You understand what I'm saying? So people can no longer find beauty, their own beauty within themselves. They cannot see in this weird capitalist hue that confuses everybody. So what am I saying simply? That the most oppressive industry, the most oppressive institution for women are allowed to interact with women anyhow they see fit. They just pick some influencers that they pay some money. They pick some of these useless people that they pay money to influence your mind. You think because this person is saying it, he's saying it from a place of love. But the person is not saying it from a place of love. The person is saying it from a place that benefits the person, but that is against you. Yes, they are getting paid to tell you the lies of a monster you are not allowed to see. The monster is hiding in the dark. It's paying somebody to come and talk to you outside. But it is the monster that is talking to you, only using the person's mouth. And the person is willing to do this work because they are paid. What are you getting? Nothing. You are getting low self-esteem. You are getting stress. That's what you are getting. What are you getting? Anyway, so that Shehu is not the one trying to tell you not to bleach, not to wear your hair because he wants to control your life. No. I'm telling you those things because of what connects us together, what makes us whole, what should make us indivisible. And I do not believe that black women and black men do not have the right to speak to one another or speak about one another. It's our duty. It's our duty that our women can speak about us and to us in their exclusively female spaces. It should be a matter of pride to us that our women are willing to speak about us in their exclusive spaces, that our situation, our struggles, our existence in this world is okay, is tangible enough for our women to see as worthy of their analysis, their intelligence, their time in their exclusive spaces. And we have the responsibility to take those opinions as the word of God, as the true word of God. And even if it's now wrong, it is our duty, to remove whatever false impressions that have been created by our behavior. And the same goes for our men. Our women must also be able to take our independent conclusions about them seriously, to the extent that they too are willing make us aware of our false impressions. Somebody once told me that Europeans move forward because they question everything. That's one of the lies that they sell to us as Africans. That to be intelligent means to be free means you must question everything. Anything you see, question. You must not agree. Many people think just to disagree with you is a sign of intelligence. I say to people, if Europeans are truly the way you say they are, if Europeans truly, they question their leaders, show me one person in Europe today that still worships Zeus. Show me one person in Europe today that Europeans are the most obedient of people. That is why they are advancing of Europe. Have spoken, their people follow. Oh my goodness, who is this? This capitalism guy has come. I thought you have unfollowed me. What are you still doing in my page? What are you still doing in my page? He has come with his insult or there, this, that. Yeah, I am black. Can you come and flog me if he's paining you, Capdizu? Come and flog me if he's paining you. Yeah? You are right, Emma. I'm going to block him. I'm going to block him. When I block him, he's not going to have anything to he's not going to have anything to do again with his life. Whoop. Okay, one. And when I finish the live now, I'll go and block him totally. I don't have time for disrespectful, dumb people. We don't have time. So yeah, now I have a guest today I want to bring on my live. No, I blocked him. He uses too many insults when talking. Tune from Mr. T from Italy.
It's Mr. T.
Mr. T from Italy.
Okay.
Everybody,
now I'm not on TPP. I'm on BEV. Now I'm not on TPP. I'm on BEV, the bet I
Yeah. Yeah. So I met Mr. T on TPP. The People's Perspective is one of our usual frequent callers. So, and this live we are doing today is what's it called? Is his idea, and I think that being the case, I want him to start up on it. And our topic for this second part is, can capitalism bring about a just and equitable society? I think this is something that we should actually discuss because, for me, we have been capitalist in Africa now and in Nigeria, completely capitalist in 1969. After the Civil War in Nigeria and the Second World War, we started becoming capitalist much more in 1950 because of America's influence in the world economies. But even go on, if you hear his speech after his school, was talking about socialism. Muritala, even up until IBB was telling people that he was a socialist. Even if his actions were contrary to such. So, being a Nigerian has been very capitalist in 1960, and I told somebody on my page today, which is actually quite interesting, because somebody came to my page today, and I said to the person too, like, since 1966, Africa has been capitalist. We cannot really say that they've given us water, light. The capitalists have given us water, light, transportation, housing, education. They have solved zero problem in 60 years. And he said to me that, if socialism was working, Nkrumah's government wouldn't have been rejected. That's another lie people always hear in Africa, when we hear, Nkrumah was a socialist and he failed. But failed in whose eyes? Is it in the eyes of the people that elected him, or in the eyes of a few elites who no longer had free access to the resources of the people, and then organized a coup. So is a coup now suddenly a sign of victory? If a good leader can be removed by coup, does that mean that leader has failed? Did Sankara fail? Did Sankara fail in Burkina Faso? Okay, if that is the case, what institutions have the capitalists created in Africa? Since slowly destroying those institutions created by our liberating fathers, what have they used to replace them that we are seeing today? You know. So this for me is these are my own questions that we're going to come into as we're going through. So, but let me let you, let the people know.
Okay, so for me, right, the first thing to know is like the way it's developed. It's a pyramid structure. So for sure, it's based on inequality, and the truth is, the benefits, right, are rarely ever distributed equally. So you find those who are under, being exploited, underpaid, and they have no sense of security. This goes on for some people for, the rest of their lives, without them having any sense of freedom. Now, the second thing is this idea that, something has to be profitable before it has value. Like, why? I mean, like, that's not our nature, Like, you can't just, go after everything just for the sake of profit, like something to gain. In fact,
exactly.
For me, I'm like a happiness engineer. That's how I see myself. This is the profession I call myself. And you actually become happier when you are of service to others, not and provide for others, not when you try to accumulate things for yourself. No matter how much you try to accumulate, you will never be happy. You will never reach, the high point of happiness. Now, I give an example. If you look at, because we are born in nature, right? And we are social beings. So why should a system, that maintains or organizes our economic structure not be based on, based on our social nature? If you look at ants now, I want to give you an example. If you look at insects, when one insect finds sugar, right? Do you know what it will do? It will go near the sugar, right? Like this. After finding sugar, to run back to tell the other ant, the other insects that there's sugar. And then all of them will line up, slowly like that, to go and get the sugar. And they'll be distributing it, equally. But if it comes to humans, it's like one person discovers sugar. He'll first cordon off, that area as his own. And then look for a way to, they call it monetize, and like, just enslave other people and continue to get the benefit of these resources that we all met here. Now, another point is, this one is, I'll be real quick with this one, because I'm in like technology field, right? So when it comes to this profit, there's something called attention economy. So aside the normal economy that you have, and the background, underground, there's also the attention economy. And attention economy means, and it's exactly what you just gave regarding the example of influencers being paid. So you are being paid, people are being paid, all this arts industry, the tech companies, they pay to buy people's free will. So they pay to buy your mind. You don't really have a free will. Why? Because, for example, I don't use WhatsApp, I use Signal. And what happens with WhatsApp is that before it was actually a video app, but due to all these needs for profit, they go what is called beyond the creepy line. So they go beyond normal to try to get people to be addicted. So it's not more about it's not more about your time. It's more also about now your attention and your focus. So for example, now on WhatsApp, right? If you go into WhatsApp, if you're typing, they make sure that the other person knows. There's no way you can turn it off. Just to keep you there for more time and more profit. Also, your presence too. So presence is like when you're online. They force other people that this person is online, so that you can have more engagement and then more time is spent, because that will generate more revenue for all those people who are paying for the the ads and all of that. Now, the kind of worst of all. So I'm reading this book. Let me show you this book. It's called Hooked. It's by one guy. He's a behavioral science, engineer, right? So he studies like how all this technology, how they intentionally, manipulate people for profits to steal their time and attention. And I'll just read the very first. I'll read real quickly. I'll read the first part of it here in his introduction. He said, instead of relying on, expensive marketing habits right now, habit-forming companies, they link their services to users' daily routines and emotions. So a habit is at work when a user feels a tad bored and instantly opens Twitter. They feel a pang of loneliness, and before any rational thought comes, they are scrolling through their Facebook. Now, the deep one is the last one. It says, a question comes to mind. Before searching their brain, they search Google. So this is how bad, this has taken us to. And on this too, I'll give you
Can
one.
I just chip in real quick? So this
part, sure.
There's a documentary on Netflix called The Social Dilemma.
Yeah, I
think touches on this topic. And if people that don't have access to the book want to check on that, you can watch The Social Dilemma on Netflix. That talks about how these new tech companies, especially social media companies, deliberately try to get their users hooked on the app. I also did the experiment on myself. I tried to go off Instagram for a day, and it was absolutely impossible. It was absolutely impossible. Although I didn't post anything, I didn't read comments, but I opened the app at least 10 times that day, because my hand kept by itself pushing the icon. Every time I was using my phone, if I just scroll my phone, as soon as my finger just saw it and push it, I will close it again, So I realized that there's addiction there. And they also said something in that documentary that was kind of catchy. The guy was the former VP of Facebook, because this documentary was actually big guys that left the tech industry to spill their guts because they felt conflicted. I found out that it was somebody that even invented the infinity scroll. Imagine how much that guy was hard. It was on the documentary Social Dilemma. Social Dilemma. It's on I was like, wow, how much must you have, bro?
Even the light, there was one guy that invented the light.
In fact, people that actually people that invented keyboard, this one, I'm like, so these are the top guys, and basically even their own families are not allowed. The
top CEOs, right?
Yeah, his family not allowed.
They don't allow their children.
They don't allow their children. And he said it's only drug dealers and software developers that call their customers users.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. You really watch this, you watch it deep. In fact, there's another one.
I watch it really deep. So
there's another one called
documentary. Meanwhile, I've been looking for a way to reduce my daughter's social media usage.
Yes,
but I can't break her heart because she really likes things. But luckily for me, she did something 2 days ago. I have seized both iPads for 1 month.
There's another one. It's called The Creepy Line. Try to watch that one too.
Okay, I'll check it.
So I'll tell you a concept from that one here. It has to do with autocomplete. So if you go to Google, right, and I know many people are not aware of this, if you want to search for something, we had Web 1.0. Web 1.0 means you just go to a website, it's there, it's like a newspaper, nothing is moving. So you feel some sort of focus on it. Now, decades later after the internet was founded, came Web 2.0 or Internet 2.0. So this is where, you go into a website, things are moving, marquee is scrolling, animation, all those fancy stuff. So what these companies do with autocomplete is, if you want to search for something, right, they complete your intention. And by doing that, they complete your thoughts. So imagine now, you want to search for, you write I want, and then your mind is like, I want to write rice. But by the time you write that I want, they've already showed you beans.
Now, I also
So
now steal your interest.
exactly. So they take that, and another thing is like someone might have even paid for that, that beans search. So they have to put it there to take your mind, and then you now go in. That's another, and this is very, very sad. So what I do, right? I can send you like, cause I browse on the PC, so I make like extensions that enable you to, disable this autocomplete, because they don't, Google, for their profit, they don't allow you to disable it. Some other browser search engine like maybe Start Page, DuckDuckGo, Ecosia and the rest, they allow you to disable it. But something like Google, they don't. And another thing is, you can also on your mobile too, there's a browser called Focus Browser, Firefox Focus. If you can try to use it for 1 week, you'll notice the difference in this, autocomplete concept that I'm talking about. So yeah, that is just for the tech side of things, and there's all the profit and the money making and all that goes into there. So the next one is I think most people will know this one already in Nigeria. So the monopoly, the monopoly thing where one person. Can you hear me? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry, my thing just as you talk monopoly, don't go take it to one offer.
The hackers are. So yeah, so the thing is like that monopoly where like just one person controls everything. So you
Sorry,
don't have
Mr.
to.
T. Sorry, Mr. T. It's first why she has 2 iPads because I bought one and one is a gift. So she got one on her birthday for one of her lovely aunts. So she has 2. She's a lucky kid. That's why. Anyway, continue. Somebody was asking why my daughter had 2 iPads. Don't worry, we're not hyper consumerists like that.
Yeah, so the thing is like, one person controls the price. So you have no choice. Like everything is monopolized and prices are set by one person. And it's like you put it, they are in the gateway of people's existence. So what can you do? So I'd just like to know also maybe your opinion, what are the ways to, change this whole system? Like not just change it, but also get people informed about all these things that are happening. Because the thing is like, it's one thing to want to change, another thing to have people informed so that it won't seem like you are also trying to oppress them.
Exactly. So for me, I always say to people like, we have to look at society from a class perspective. Many people only see things from a race perspective. As African people, as black people all over the world, we only see things from a race perspective without looking at the class perspective. So many times we are able to fall for destructive policies because it is sold to us in blackface. So far the person comes that is selling it to us looks like us. That is the reason why there are more Pan-Africanist intelligentsia in Europe and America than in the continent of Africa. And it's a simple reason nobody talks about. That in Europe and America, African societies in those places have been able to create Pan-African education system. That regardless of going to school from Monday to Friday, many black people in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and a little bit now, not as much as those days, send their children every weekend to a Pan-Africanist school. But why did that come to their consciousness? Because they could see that their schools were white. But you see, in Nigeria, our schools are white, but all run by black people. So it is not in the consciousness of our people that our children still need an African education. That what we have now is education in Africa. It is not African education. You understand what I'm saying? So
yeah.
When we look at things here, we don't see that class divide. In the fact that, for example, a lot of us celebrate, like for example, there was celebrating that one Nigerian boy is now under Secretary of State in America. I can't be celebrating that one of our children now has the power to sign a paper to drop bombs on us. When we are happy that Nigerians are creating robots for Apple.
Apple. Yeah.
Who do you think this technology is going to come and bomb?
It's still
20 years time. You know, so in our society, it is not about only Dangote creating prices.
Yeah.
It is a whole class of people. It is one class. It is also a political thing. So for me, you see, this is why capitalism is dangerous. Capitalism will sell you democracy. That democracy gives power to the people. The democracy gives you an option. But your option is still rich or rich.
Limited, yes.
Your option is not limited. Is one. This rich man or this rich man. Once you become class conscious, you are easily able to decipher the game that is played on the world through capitalism. Because what we have still till today, as Nkrumah said, is the feudal system. Because whether we like it or not, because of their economic wealth that has come to them through the accumulation of the hoarding and accumulation of wealth and the concentration of power, the rich people in the world create for us the illusion of option. In Nigeria, we know for a fact that APC and PDP is the same, but we still say we are having a democracy. What is our option? Because democracy is all about option.
Right.
If we really look at the core of it, we have one class that divides itself into two groups, constantly changing themselves. It's the same thing with love. I've done that one on Valentine. How can you have love in capitalist society when love is tied directly to romance? Romance is the capitalist expression of love. There's no way you can love your wife in the sense of love we have today, like Bill Gates can love his wife. If your wife sees the kind of love that Bill Gates' wife is getting, she will look at your love and spit on it. In fact, you as a man will be wishing that Bill Gates can love your wife on your behalf. In Nigeria today, if Dangote told somebody's wife, it is the husband that will beat the wife if the wife refuses. Imagine a Nigerian man staying in his house and his wife goes out and says, imagine, darling, I went to a party today. That Dangote man started to toast me at the party. Oh. He now gave me his card. I just tore it and threw it in his face. The husband will say, children, go upstairs. Children, go to your rooms. I want to talk to mommy. Because love itself is capitalistic in expression. When I say, even before when I was doing the first segment about talking to women, even the way women are pressured to pick lovers in society by these so-called influencers, who will be telling you, if a man cannot show you what he's doing, what he's going to do for you in the next, what are you saying? Is it all men that are capable of doing in this society? So a man's worth is his personality and his humanity. Where does it come into play? If our women keep picking the richest men or the best providers, what does it mean to provide in a capitalist society? It means you are the better, the more successful you are, the more exploitative you are. So if you pick a man that is willing to exploit his own people, if you pick a man that is great at exploiting his people, a man that is great at raping nature, because what capitalism does to nature is rape. Whatever
it's not even sustainable.
Exactly, because it's rape. You know, if you go and rape the same victim, maybe one day the person will break and turn mad or die.
Right.
Rape is not a sustainable way of love making, of a sexual intercourse. The way capitalism is not a sustainable way of interacting with nature.
With nature.
So all these men that are now at the top, but at the same time, they are the ones that they'll be putting as most eligible bachelor. They'll be showing all the romantic things they do for their wives, right?
Yeah.
Confusing the brain of young women to look at these negative traits as positive traits. You understand? Perpetuating status quo. So even at that level, it brings even to love, to human interaction in the way that we need to create better human beings. Our best women are being served on the platter to the worst men.
And that's deep.
Yes.
That's deep.
Our worst men have their peak of the best women in the world. You understand? Because how good you are, how respectful you are, how kind you are, how sensitive you are. These are now negative attributes in a capitalist society. If you live in Nigeria and you have the opportunity to steal and you don't steal, people say you are stupid. Yes, men. I said on Valentine's Day, I told people that men in Nigeria are afraid to tell their friends if they are in love with their girlfriend. Because they'll see you as weak. You are weak. Real love is weakness. To be kind is weakness. To be honest is weakness. That is capitalism for you. But to be ruthless, cutthroat, to say things like you don't sleep, people will be clapping for you. Me, I know they sleep. Oh, hey.
Yeah. Yeah, because there is even me too, like there is a cycle, this circadian rhythm. So just the way nature wakes up, we are supposed to follow that, that cycle too. Because that is how we are. That's how we've been made. And then maybe something I'll just touch on, like on what you said. So if you see this shirt now, you value it as X amount. And then I just put one tiny logo. Suddenly it becomes 200X amount. But I don't know how people are not able to see, this. I don't know if you understand what I mean. But this chain that is holding them, to all this materialism and.
I will tell you, it is slavery and imperialism. You've said it all.
And logo.
It's only we Africans. It's only we they sell it to like that. It's only we, our biggest stars, must use it in all their songs. It's not a coincidence. I'm telling you, I always say to people, there's something in society that Noam Chomsky has broken down for us very well. And he named the book by the phenomena, manufacturing consent.
Okay, I think
people that control this world, these evil people that control this world, they know that all they have to do is get a few of their hand-picked influencers to regurgitate their stupidity. No matter how stupid it is, as long as they repeat it, it becomes fact.
To sink in the mind of the people. Right.
Iraq is a very good example of that, of manufacturing consent. Through CNN, through Fox News, through BBC, through MTV. Spirit is a spirit. It's not a human being, not a thing. It's a spirit in society, it's a narrative. Everywhere it pops up, they embrace it. They blow it up. You understand? But the things that happen in this world that do not match that narrative. Somebody asked me at a meeting that when do I envision the EPOB and the ESN and Ibibuagu, the new official, when do I expect their clash, their big war to happen? And I said to the person, I said, why is it that you didn't ask me when do I expect ESN and Ibibuagu, or whatever their name is, to come to the negotiation table?
Yeah.
To come to the negotiation, don't forget, at least to come to the negotiation. Why is it that the narrative?
It's a narrative that is being sold, yeah.
Because that is the narrative they need now in our society. That's the narrative of our elites. Because they want us to be afraid by 2023. Fear is the slogan of 2023.
Yeah. And you know, this NSAS that happened really showed that people can come together, you know.
Yeah,
like
so they're afraid. Wakanda is another example of manufacturing consent. When you watch that Black Panther film and the way African people embrace Wakanda, you will realize that nobody in this world has taken 1 second to imagine what that Wakanda stood for. How can a country be in Africa, have all the wealth and all the technological advancements to remove suffering in Africa and help us to develop? They hide themselves in secret, chopping by themselves alone, until they wanted to go and help Europeans in UN. And everybody say they are from Wakanda. Wakanda that hide himself from you, that didn't even want you to know. But yeah, we don't even have embassy of Wakanda. They didn't even give us embassy. Nobody even knew they were there. Until, you know, the first outsider to enter Wakanda, a CIA agent that was shot in UN. They rushed into their country. So we Africans have been dying of different diseases in their backyard here. They couldn't come and take us to that hospital. Everybody, some people even tattoo the Wakanda here. That's how you know that these people now have the power to manufacture consent. That they have the power to create the reality that they want people to embrace. So
yeah.
It's not about them coming to you or bribing people. No, it's about them always speaking that same narrative. 100 things can happen. It is the 10 or 15 that feed the narrative that they will blow up, you know, and then remove the rest 85 from consciousness.
Yeah, in fact, for me, I stopped following so much the mainstream media, because at a certain point in my life, I just realized, I think you spoke about this too before. So the way maybe CNN they are framing things, it's not the way Russia today, is framing things. So at that point in my life, I was just wait. Something is. So before I now knew that, it's all about shaping the narrative, because it's who they tell you is the enemy. Okay, I think you're frozen. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's my internet. I don't know, rain the 4 years, so the internet has been kind of wonky.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe we're getting close to an hour. If they cut it, I will come back.
Oh, okay. So it's who they tell you is the enemy, that now becomes your enemy. And the other example you gave, so for me, I used to listen to rap when I was younger, like a lot of rap, all these, Jay-Z, DMX. At a certain point in my life, right, I first I deleted all the songs, from my phone. But I just realized that these people are just regurgitating rubbish. And I don't know how I never knew from a very young age, how I didn't know these things. I wasted so much time.
Me, I don't even mind, my brother, of this music. I believe that after the age of 25, as a young African man, you must disengage from this music. It's a music to help you grow in a capitalist world, that things don't make sense. You're angry as an African man, okay, yeah. But after that, but the problem we have in the world is that they don't allow us to do that as African men. As African men, we are trapped in infantilization. To escape it is one of the greatest acts. You see Omojua and Ezekweli fight. Is Omojua trying to finally grow up? I'm not sure. Because maybe it's another person now that is paying him to fight this one. Who knows? Because when we are telling people that this is by payment that they are doing all this work. Now they are coming and say, she pay my rent. I want to be a man of my own. I'm a grown man. I'm not at the level yet. So all that time you are the ones, someone was telling you something to post. Abi? Okay. Anyway, but meet an African man when he's 17 years old, 18 years old. Ask, what are your dreams in life? I want to get a job. I want to marry, build house, born children, take care of my family.
Right.
Ask him again when he's 47. What are your dreams in life? He'll tell you. Well, if he has married, he'll say, I want to build house, expand my business. But, you know, we are still the same people we were in our dreams. That's the problem. And that music is there to keep us in that mind state. It's meant to keep that lifestyle interesting. Like it's a noble thing. We're doing like this thing, and we're not really achieving much. I say to people, we might be happy that Dangote is the richest black man in the world. Right?
Yeah.
But still, Apple alone is richer than the whole of Nigeria combined. If Bill Gates woke up with Dangote's money, he will commit suicide immediately. If Bill Gates wake up today, looks at his net worth and his Dangote's level, he will commit suicide immediately. So we Africans, we don't have the capital set to say we want to be capitalists. We don't really have the capital to engage. That's why the Chinese, they were smart. You see the Chinese? First, they built that capital internally. Because they realized to capital with people with more capital than you is to fail. So they first internalize, they build. Now that they have the capital to capital with the capitalists, they say, okay, let's capitalize it. But it's like going into a casino. You have $100,000. I have $10 million. Yes, you can win and chop some money, but at the end of the day, I'm going home with your 100,000. Yes, you will win. You can even win my 10 million. You win up to 2 million. But if I don't give up, I keep going. Your luck was run out, one. I will collect all that money. You will go home with your pants. So Africa, you know, people say, oh, Africa is rich. Africa is rich. That's a big lie they tell us. Africa is rich. Africa is rich. Africa is rich. Resources is not wealth. It takes a lot to transform resources. It goes a lot of steps before it becomes wealth.
Right.
And now, it now takes even harder steps to capture that wealth for you and yours. You see, it is those hard steps to capture the wealth that the resources are for us that our leaders are unwilling to take and are afraid to take, that the MOP will take. Because it is the trapping of that wealth that is difficult. Then when we take it, for example, all this music that they tell you, say, kill a nigga, kill a nigga. Can you hear any rap music that say, I shot a white man? Have you heard one?
It's always black on
rap
black.
Song ever in the history of rap music that, yeah, so this white cop, this white police officer, or this white store man, or this white kid call me nigga, I just turn around with my gun and I pull the trigger. You don't hear that before? If you even make a song like that, no radio station will play it. First of all, nobody will even know you exist. They will first of all help you to become obsolete. If you are now, maybe you've now sang kill a nigga before, people now know you. You now want to use that clout to go and say kill a whitey. Yeah, so you need to go and, people always talk about this NWA song, Fuck the Police. I always say, go and listen to that song where there's nothing revolutionary about NWA's Fuck the Police. Because what they are saying in that song is that the police is stopping them from selling drugs to black people and misbehaving and shooting niggas. That the police is stopping them from misbehaving. That is not revolutionary. Fuck the police damage black psyche more than even police brutality. What they promote, the crack selling, let's say you want to go say the truth. So I hear some people always say, oh, NWA say fuck the police. So many other revolutionary hip-hop songs that people don't even talk about that really break down what the police. I mean, go and listen to Blue Klux Klan by White Intelligence. Go and listen to that album, and then you understand what it means to make revolutionary hip hop about or against the police. Not a song that they are making that say police is oh man. I don't like nonsense. Don't bring nonsense to me. Don't bring nonsense to me. There's nothing revolutionary about Ice Cube. I watched Ice Cube in Denmark. He was singing a song, good cop, where you are, good cop, stop taking the bad cop. Come on, man. What are you guys doing, fam? Yeah, you're talking dead press. Yeah, you're talking, fam. Now you're talking. You're telling me dead press, I'm listening. Let's Get Free, that album, now I'm listening. KRS-One, I'm listening. Don't tell me NWA that fuck the police. Fuck the police, but there's nothing revolutionary about fuck the police. You understand? Because the police and gangsterism is the same danger in black communities. They are both puppets of capitalism and imperialism. One is a puppet of capitalism, thinking it's okay to sell drugs to their community, kill people because they want to buy Benz. They want to buy house for their mother. It's okay to kill another person's mother.
Get with your right time.
Exactly. The other one is in the service of imperialism. It's okay to kill black people to keep white power. It's okay to join army, go to white nations and kill mothers and children for your country to come and thief their oil. You know, so I thank them very much, but we know what we're saying. That's not what we're saying. You know, so yeah. So you hear this, I said, even to kill, one white man was doing one thing on one TED talk, and he made, we're talking about how we can talk about killing black men and radio will play it, but you cannot even talk about killing a cat. Imagine rapping about killing a cat. you are in Italy. Just imagine that you rap a song about how you kill cats and you try to put it on the radio. Imagine what will happen to your career.
Right. Or even dogs have. Because if they cherish dog here even more than humans sometimes.
No, like, imagine go to rap that you kill a dog. Your life not finished.
You know that so here, right?
It's finished. But you can
here, right?
Black people all day, slapping black women, rape black hoes, whatever. That's why you put the black or the African in front of it. Yeah, very good. Keep it up. You are talented. In fact, you are the greatest musician of black people. You'll be the one making the most money of black musicians.
You know, when you talk about dogs here, right? You know, there are actually stores just for dogs. So there's food, there's industry to feed the dogs. No, man.
I said, this world, the budget, the entire Nigerian budget was $40 billion. The budget of the pet food industry of England alone is 32 billion. America, 67 billion. I don't want to add Canada. Just American pets and British pets combined live better than the whole Nigerians.
No.
Pet food, Neo. I'm not talking about grooming, no. I'm not talking about pet health care, which is the main money. Just pet food industry. Pet food yearly in America, 67B, UK, 32B, combined.
I mean, even normal human being has not gotten enough health care.
For everybody. All of us, 40B.
I say even normal gotten enough health care, back in Nigeria. But a dog is getting like full body review, no ailment. No.
Surgery, anything, anything law, cancer treatment, anything, And then also researchers found out that for everybody in the world to live good like an American, we will need 4.2 Earths.
Right.
If we're going to waste resources like that and consume and destroy, we need 4.2 Earths. And so far we've only found this one. So capitalists, Please, can you tell us where we're going to find this remaining 3.5 Earths? This remaining 3.2 Earths that we will need, because this is really your biggest job as capitalists. It's not for you to accumulate wealth. Because when all of us want to accumulate, apparently we need 4.2 Earths. So, I don't know. So far, what you guys to do is leave this one for us. We'll take all the damage. No problem. You have to leave us here. That's why you're already looking for Mars. You're already planning to go. So all of you have to go to Mars. This rubbish capitalism is in Mars. No mind there. So everybody want to ride AMG. They don't know that you have to at least 30 years of hard work to ride AMG. 30 years of good hard work. Hey, you'll be thinking of AMG. Not that you leave high school 2 years ago. You're already thinking of Rolls Royce. How to work? Add value, create value. Me, I love people making money, but make money by creating value. Add value to your nation. Add substance. You cannot make wealth by extraction. It creates imbalance. It creates imbalance. Right. You cannot extract your wealth from earth. No. Add value. If you add value, money will come. Money will come.
Right.
That's what I believe, you know. And I don't believe that anybody, Nigeria, listen, be a billionaire, but not of the pain, suffering, or commonwealth of the people. Case closed. If you invent something, we are here for you. But Nigerian government will also not let you invent things we don't need. They lie to us that we need it. Because that is what the advertising agencies are there for. People wasting money everywhere on things they don't need, because the people advertise on TV constantly, telling them that they need it.
To create a need. So there's a difference between what you want and what you need.
Lie to people. Corporations paying billions. You know that healthcare industries spend more on advertisement. The big pharma, they spend more on advertisement than they do on research and development. I have the book. You should check out the book. It's called Bad Pharma by Dr. Ben Goldcare. Write it down. Bad Pharma. I mean, a Ben Goodman. I mix them up. Write Ben Goodman or Ben Goldcare. You check one of the two.
Okay.
Bad Pharma. Pharmaceutical industries spend more money on advertisement than they do on research and development.
Ben Goldcare, yeah, you're right. Ben Goldcare.
Yeah, Ben Goldcare. I said, I knew it was one of the two. I mixed them up. I read the book, so I opened my mouth. In this capitalist world, big pharma does not have to run tests before they bring out drugs anymore. Capitalism tells us that regulation is bad for business. Business should be given free hand to run wild in our world. Whereas they tell us human beings that we must follow the rules. But society is based on rules and regulations. Rules is for humanity, regulations is for business. How come we want to continually strengthen the rules against humans, but remove the regulation for business? Everybody is looking for deregulation up and down, deregulation, so that the people no longer have a say in how business is run. So you come to a country with your capital, you tie the people of that community to the capital you brought in, create an industry. Then people say, oh, this industry is giving you so much, we want this. You refuse negotiation, you take your money, you divest from that area, you carry your capital away. The people cannot, but the labor now cannot just follow your capital. They'll say, where is Visa? You carry the capital away, you remove the wealth, you leave poverty. And the people have to deal. The people have to deal.
And you know, there's this quote I have. I say, I say, a society has reached excellence when the worst of all, you know, are treated with utmost respect and dignity. So worst doesn't mean that we are better than them, but just how the situation of life makes them to how do you find yourself in life. So if you look here now, someone is coming down from, you have someone that is not disabled, because I don't like to use disabled. I'll prefer to say someone that has challenges, let's say physical challenges, coming down from the bus. what happens here is like everyone has to wait, So the bus driver will come down, open that lever, and then that disabled will, come down. Like there's some kind of respect for someone that is challenged, or even someone that's consistently poor. But it's not the case, back in Nigeria, where once you are just challenged, you are just gone. No security for you, no social security, nothing. Or even you are poor, there's nothing for you. You are just on your own. And I give kudos though to like the Nigerian men, because like they try.
Like
the amount of the amount of fight, you're a company on your own, the amount of support. No one that you see
is local government. I think if we want to create revolution in Nigeria tomorrow, everybody in Nigeria, nobody should dash anybody money for 1 month. All Nigerians will just say, we are not dashing anybody money for 1 month. Nobody's dashing anybody money. You will now see how much we bail out this government every day in this country.
Right.
Everybody in this country becomes, once you have some change, you become the local government of your family. You pay healthcare, you pay transport, you pay security, you pay housing, you pay education. You help everybody out there. If you don't do it, you're a bad person.
Right.
You go to all their church and report you that you're a bad person. But have to still pay your tax that the good people steal.
Yeah, even talking about water, I wish I would have shown you this. So there's this system here, and it's all over the country too, where you have running water, right? Almost every 100 meters, you have this tap with the head of a bull. So the sign of the city is a bull. Runs 24 hours non-stop. This is public water. Why can't we have the same thing in Nigeria? Like water, just water, busy. I mean, you go to the tap, the water will do like this. We want to vomit. Sometimes you never meet water. Everyone has to have their own private water. Like this is water. This is how many years of existence that we did that we can't even just.
Let me just tell everybody on this live today. Most of you that say, if I join struggle, it will cost me money. Don't join. Maybe you are still paying 1 word for petrol now. It's going to 500 soon. All those your light bill, maybe they have increased it 100%. You are vexing 400%. All that money you don't want to spend for liberation, you give it to the oppressor. Yeah, your money is either for you, your money is either for your liberation or for your oppression. Pick. In fact, don't even pick. They will pick for you. They will pick for you. They will pick for you. Look, let me give me a second. Today, this guy say if they say I will follow rules and take. What I won't do now? I said people should follow rules and corporations should also follow regulation. Did they say I don't want to follow rules? Why are people always just trying to trip me up? All you APC people, I can't be tripped up. I have studied for this moment since I was 24. I have read books. I have studied the mistakes of those before me. I have seen where they went wrong with people like you. I have all of you schooled like this. Don't worry. All the bad things I've done in my life is public. There's no way you can come and trip me up. There's no way. You people you have nothing. And then also I did the ultimate one. The ultimate one is that I refuse to enjoy life as I should have. All the access I have to make money from your suffering, to lie to you, to join with the oppressor, I reject it. I stayed in my small lane, in my small tank, because I understand. I understand the task at hand. So you don't be wasting your time. All this time you are wasting on my life, trying to listen to me, finding ways to strip me up. Go and be studying. This is a fight of ideas. Go and be studying. Leave this place. Look for the rebuttal to my own attack of your capitalist ideas and agenda.
Yeah. Another thing, I'll touch on this one quick. Another thing that is being always, pushed to the mainstream is the fact that they say Africans don't read, but this is a big pure lie. It's
very big
it's just
lie.
is a phrase to not just oppress, but to keep people subjugated in that same belief. Because, okay, fine, when they were slavery, how do you even expect people to read back then, when they were under servitude? They were oppressed. And then even after the whole thing ended, they still kept on trying to reinforce, this belief that African, it's a lie. See my books, I have books. If I don't have, physical
The real
books, I
reason
have
why most
digital books.
Africans don't read is poverty. What do you want even?
Right.
See, that's why I want us to quickly launch our educational website for MOP and NRM, and also my podcast. Because I know that Africans are thirsty for knowledge. But you keep them in a situation where a man has to wake up at 4 a.m. every day to commute to work for 4 hours in the morning.
They wake up
every
to
day
problem.
Must come back at 10. What time does he have? This is why I always feel that we are able to raise our head up small out of this oppression, and we do not do the work on behalf of these people. We are doing more than betraying. We are traitors. You understand?
Right.
Because all the free time we have, instead of us using to find a way to create a better society, we spend it either trying to create better life for ourselves, and even us that we now even have better life for ourselves that we cannot even finish. We spend the remaining free time destroying the society even more. If you can't make it better, won't you leave it alone?
Right.
So I realize that it's not only maybe some of them, but not only that they hate African people, or they don't care. They are also really there's hatred. They have to explain something you cannot repair. Okay, fine. You have exploited it to a certain extent. Fine. Stay like that now. Why still trying more to spoil? Still trying to spoil more. Spoil more. As stupid as African people are, we can never vote for Trump. If Trump was a Nigerian president running for office, he can never win. Boris Johnson can never win election in Nigeria. Mary Le Pen's party can never have 25% of parliament in Nigeria. Openly hateful people can never, African people will never follow you. As stupid as they say we are, as uneducated as we are, Africans will not line up behind the openly wicked person. I'm telling you, you cannot find, the person might deceive us, so they not get there and become a tyrant. And Africans will not rise up against you. Fine. But in the beginning, you must pretend like you're a good person. In that beginning, where you don't have any power, you must pretend like you're a good person. If you don't pretend like you're a good person, we will never follow you. So the question now is, why do Europeans constantly vote people like Hitler, find Franco, Mussolini, Trump, Reagan, Margaret Thatcher? Why do white people constantly bring such people to power? How? Why? What's going on? Go and read the history of racism in America. You understand?
Yeah.
Go and read the history of racism in the old Europe. It is the best of their minds that brought out these ideologies. So they had what was it called? Eugenics as a topic, as a scientific field. Eugenics, for Christ's sakes. It is their best minds. It is their best minds. It is their best minds that come up with this hateful, spiteful. Go and look at somebody like Winston Churchill. Such a man. Go and look at their history, the kind of things they say, the kind of people these men are. You look at a man like Einstein. The only thing you know about Einstein is E is equal to mc squared. You cannot quote anything of Einstein. Why? Einstein did not fit that rhetoric. It was not hateful. It was not racist. He was speaking of African culture, African history. He was espousing us. He was speaking of humanity as one. He was condemning racism. He was condemning the nuclear arms race. He was condemning the idea that America can just go and act anyhow they like in the world. He was calling out the fascism of Western Europe itself. Are you trying to tell me that Hitler is the only fascist in Europe that was fighting?
It started from here now, from Mussolini.
Second World War was nothing but the fight. Finish, and one fascist defeat the other. Because if truly fascism was a Nazi thing, Hitler, we defeated them in World War II. How come there's still fascism around?
Right.
Fascism fought a war against the whole world. How come it's not illegal? How come it's not illegal to be a fascist?
And with this concept of legalism, it's not so much of what is truly best for the people. It's just what some people agree should be right.
I say, are you telling them that Hitler is more of a fascist than Winston Churchill? I don't understand. What was this Second World War? What was this fascism we fought?
Right.
It was nothing but two capitalist systems fighting themselves. Finish. It was nothing about humanity, about changing all the Geneva Convention bullshit. I mean, who follows Geneva Convention? Look at what's going on in Yemen. Somebody told me today on my page that we can't be socialist because before you know there'll be concentration camps. I said, well, which is better than what? Which is worse than what? Refugee camps, internally displaced people camps, military prison industrial complex.
Military industrial complex.
Military industrial complex. No, I mean that one is going to be. I mean like heading people by their millions. Extraordinary rendition, Guantanamo Bay, black sites all over the world. Because Europeans use all these movies in the 80s to scare people, the Red Scare, socialists will lock you in concentration camp, socialists will... During World War II, didn't the Americans lock Japanese people up in concentration camp in America? What are they talking about? This is war. America, Britain, and Saudi Arabia just killed 3 million Yemenis people with hunger. Just hunger, lason. Clearly against the Geneva Convention. If Russia did that now, it will be all over the news 24 hours a day. But Yemen is only on the eve of the war of Yemen that CNN will mention it. Today marks the 5th year of the war on Yemen. They'll not say this part really fast. 5 million people have died so far in the war.
So, regarding what you say, right, I believe like everyone can do something, it doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter, because in the end, what is happening in the root is affecting all of us, no matter where you are. So we all need to be able to come together and do something, no matter how little it is. And how that will come is through trust, So there's so much seed of distrust within us, both inside and outside, Like I think things should not be so anymore. But we should learn to.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, sorry.
Go on.
We should learn to trust each other, and be able to unite, because other nationalities, when they come outside, even you always see them together, uniting. But it's not so much for our own country. So we need to be able to unite, no matter. And this whole answer that happened has kind of shown. Yeah, because like we are like, we are social beings, and you can't compare the power of Africans or maybe Nigerians even when they are together trying to do something compared to any other nation in the world or any other set of people. Think about football now. The way people are strong. Watching football like together. The whole energy. Why can't they use that energy for some other, to change things, to make things for the better?
Yeah, because it is in the approved narrative that it is okay to unite behind football. It is cool. It's true. It is true. It is cool. Everybody, hey, football is support your nation. Everybody does it. A friend of mine actually told me that all these sports games, all these team sports that they use, they created it, and the mindset, is practice for war. Supporting your nation fanatically, head mentality, everybody,
Uh,
so yeah, whatever. But what I was going to make a point, but it skipped my mind. Yeah, about when you say we have to come together and do things, because one of the main themes of Nigerian society, is that we distrust each other.
right.
And billions of naira is spent every year in soft propaganda to cement this mindset. The reason why majority of these pastors have the following they have, people don't understand. It's not because of what they do or they control people. No, their job in the churches is to kill solidarity. Their job in the mosque is to destroy solidarity. You see, there's no way you go to church or mosque in Nigeria and you can trust your brother, your mother, your sister, because every day you're hearing stories of how people's brothers betraying them, are doing juju for them. You see, African gods have no power except to destroy African people's life. So you understand? So your poor brother that is also under oppression like you is using African gods. So you also to attach it to lack of solidarity for Africa, because you must save African gods, and that is what it is to be African. You are now Arab or you are Western, Christian or Muslim. So they go tell you, oh, your brother is killing your father, your mother, people in your village, and really it is a disconnect between the urban and the rural. So we in the urban, we believe that everybody in the village wants our downfall.
It's a village people, they call it.
Exactly. So you watch movies, they sponsor all these movies, give billions to all the actors in a year and all these big production movies to create these same storylines. Your wife, your brother, your friend, everybody, this analysis actually first made official about 8 years ago, criticizing the Nigerian entertainment industry only. But then I looked at it and saw that not only the entertainment industry, they fed it into the religious institutions. Only capitalism can give a minute group the power to be able to control society with soft power like that through their donations, and they've already tied the value of humanity to commercial success. So these pastors are giving wealth, immense wealth, overnight almost. Many of these actors, and their job is to create that because they have the influence of soft power. So you watch the movie constantly. There's no way you can stay with your friends and trust them. So for me, that is one of the main reasons Nigerians find it difficult to build lasting organizations, to get a mass movement, because they use these institutions of influence to create division among the people. Or instead of, let me not even say division, because it's not that deep. Because most times this lack of trust exists in one household.
Right.
Where they're actually united as family but divided as human beings. It's true. So it is solidarity they attack. They kill solidarity. Because now, solidarity and trust are two different things. I can actually distrust somebody, but be in solidarity with that person.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
It takes a certain kind of understanding, Abi.
Right.
And there's some people I have solidarity, I trust, I might not have solidarity with because I trust them to be evil. Is it everybody that you trust to be good? It's true. Somebody like Obasanjo,
Right.
I trust Obasanjo to be evil. So I will never have solidarity with such.
Right. So
I say we're really, so anyway, I'm just saying, so
yeah.
those are my own vision when I see this situation of us finding it unable to build a mass movement, because many of us in the position that should bring these things to the consciousness of the people, we are either sold out, or we don't see it as relevant, or we're not interested, or generally we have also been brainwashed by the mainstream propaganda of society.
Right. So I'll try to touch on one thing quick. So there's this group on Reddit and Discord as well. It's called Nigerian Frequency. So like I'm part of it, and then the other like Nigerians, like both in and out of Nigeria. So what they try to do there is run by a lady, beneath Dr. That's name. So what they try to do is they try to keep, the culture and the language, because they were about one wile.
Let me say something. I believe in our language as a sign of our culture to be strong. But in terms of politics and liberation, but I'm not sure my daughter speaks Yoruba now, Sha. Let me just say that. It's important that we keep our languages. But at the same time, everybody spoke Yoruba on the eve of our enslavement. The fact that every Yoruba person spoke Yoruba on the eve of the day before we made the white man did not protect us from imperialism. So, these are languages we might be giving them more importance than necessary. But as I said, I teach my daughter because I enjoy my language. It's a sign of who I am. So I understand it, but I don't want people that, because some people believe that also, Nigerians in diaspora think because I don't speak the language, I cannot engage. This is not, we can have solidarity even though you don't speak the language. Because I said before,
even with sign language,
spoke the language, when everybody could speak, they still came and kicked our ass. So it's not the language that was the problem. It's something else, one spirit, and that spirit is what we must remove in this new time. After 400 years, it's time to exercise that spirit away from our middle. Yes, it's the spirit. I've said it, the spirit of those people that respect things over people.
Right.
Yes. When you carry your brother, go sell him because they won't give you gin. you go tip your sister, sell her because they won't give you textile, sugar. Mesmerized and they're still the ones. That spirit is still in charge in Africa today. So we that now we recognize that spirit. Now that we recognize that spirit, it's time to exercise it. What people? Why did they hide the spirit where we be? Okay, now only for their house they come out, go dance for only there, they hide that. But we don't see them. Mr. T, we don't see her.
Yeah. So I wrote one small song. I say, Nigeria better, everything order. Command Topa, Bossa, freedom in the air.
I remix. I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. When it comes to the people now, my only message is positive.
Right.
The only people the evil must evil. Righteous must righteous. Until the people pick a side. It's true. So let the evil talk about the evil part of the people that they talk about. We, the righteous, talk about the righteousness of our cause and the righteousness of our people that makes them deserve to be free.
Right.
Yes. We have to make them. That's what me. Understand? But this song is the song we're going to use when MOP win his first seat. Freedom is in the air. You don't get fans, so you see all your fans. Maybe you drop the album, Mr. T, you pay me money, forget to. I wait here, I wait see you. This is the rule.
Right. Let me see if I still wrote something. Yeah, I think we touched on most of the things that I wrote down.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the last one was
Instagram, they always give me more time, past 1 hour. So I think we are like almost, me and you are an hour 20. So not bad.
Okay. By the way, is TPP happening this week? Like I set my alarm for like 11.
So TPP is happening this week. No, I don't have appointment. No, TPP is going to be on now till mid-June, I think, when I have my next appointment, except something else comes up. But I won't miss any TPP again. And hopefully our podcast too will be off and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're sending good wishes to EP too. Like I think I saw something happen recently. She was tearing or so. Nice.
Really?
We sent her good wishes.
I'm not been following her. Me, I've not been following her. I've not been following her page because she abandoned me. I've been doing the show alone for 3 weeks. Well, check on that. Thanks for telling me. All of you like Ife more than me. All Ashawo people. You all be informing that it is TPP. You've come to hear meet up on TPP, but the ancestors are exposing you. Say.
No, we are there for both of you. Like we are both your fans.
Okay, so anyway, if you have any more points, but I think we've covered everything. So basically, we've decided that I think our advantage is that it is impossible to find justice and equity in a capitalist society because everything leans to those that have been able to accumulate capital, and many of them have unjustly accumulated such capital.
Right.
And yeah, the last point I wanted to make, because remember, based on one of the tenets of capitalism is that value comes from the idea. So management is value, not labor. So that's why people in management get more than the factory worker. The idea is the value. That's what they've always told us. One of the lies. And then what has Corona shown us? Corona removed the entire labor from the market. What happened immediately?
You now see what's more important.
We now saw what was really bringing value because the market did what? He crashed new. He crashed new. Then they always tell us, look, capitalism is you do well, you enjoy. You don't do well, you fail. Until they failed in 2008. So suddenly, new tenants, too big to fail. they brought out new commandments, too big to fail. I'm telling you, too big to fail. So, whatever the case may be, whatever anybody says, make your money. But let the commonwealth of the people be the commonwealth of the people. It is high time that Nigeria also work for Nigerians, not only for those that can use might to accumulate what is for everybody as their own.
Right.
Because whatever scared is scared of the socialism in the past. For us watching all this Hollywood film, that will tell you, North Korea, Soviet Union, they will lock you up, no freedom. The same thing happens to us here in Nigeria, and it is not socially, it is not the KGB that came to burn Kalakuta Republic.
Right.
Abi? So I don't know. So it was nice to have this live with you. Thanks for everybody coming on. This thing went on very long, and I will do a live with Diallo in about 2 weeks. I'll let everybody know. Bye, guys.
All right,
Tunde.
thanks, man.
Is
Thanks,
your name
yo.
Tunde or Tayo?
Tunji. So Mr.
Tunji.
T for Tunji. Yeah, Mr. T.
Okay, this T
Yeah.
is for Tunji. Okay, Mr.
Yeah.
T from Italy. Have a nice one.
All
Thanks
right,
for
thanks,
coming
man.
on the
Sure.
live.
All right, cheers.